come and do the church thing. Come and do the church thing. Church thing. Come on, church. Look, road man, come and do the church thing. The church thing. Road man. Bricks, 3 5s and Zs. Can't really tell you what they're talking about. While you was in the trap, I was out here playing 40-40 by the roundabout. Red and blue slush puppies, that's when you know that the summer's out. And the beef was on, if the tints rolled down, you turn and come back around. Never on the front line, I just played it cool and calm in the background. And I was right there when David got joint enterprise, got locked down. Man, it never made sense smoking Nami on the block, watching out for the ops. One false move, Donnie, you could be doing 15 in a box. My name's not Jack, I don't know no Jill. Welcome to the city of the stainless steel. Young G's fire at will and they will. Man, I know road man, I said it ain't worth it. I know road man said they wanna do the church thing. God's got his arms wide open, his love's always there. So road man, come and do the church thing. Come and do the church thing. Road man, come and do the church thing. Road man. His arms are wide open, his love's always there. Road man, come and do the church thing. I said his arms are wide open, his love's always there. Road man, come and do the church thing. Look, I ain't even saying that I'm right and you're wrong. You ain't even gotta feel the song. I hear you keep saying it's a white man's religion and believing in God is long. But in 010, I was in Mike's full talking to Boost, I was talking to Locks. From darkness to light, Christ in their life, watch how they rise to the top. Spinners and Rugers, shooters in Ubers, tell me when would it stop? Front page headlines, CO19 circling round the block with the Glock. How many times can I say it? Your life's worth more than an M charge. But the cane can't medicate the pain, the brain can't take away the shame. All Christ wants to do is give everyone a fresh start. All Christ wants to do is just bring peace to your heart. You could be a lifer, you could be sitting in the dock or be sitting on remand. When you come to Christ, the past is the past, everything gets left in the past. If you're looking for a church, you're more than welcome to my church. Some man wanna come church, but only roll up in a hearse. I know a road man that said it ain't worth it. I know a road man said they wanna do the church thing. God's got his arms wide open, his love's always there. So road man, come and do the church thing, come and do the church thing. Road man, come and do the church thing. Church thing. Church thing. Come church thing. Just road man, come and do the church thing. The church thing. Road man. His arms are wide open, his love's always there. Road man, come and do the church thing. I said his arms are wide open, his love's always there. Road man, come and do the church thing. His arms are wide open, his love's always there. Road man, come and do the church thing. I said his arms are wide open, his love's always there. Road man, come and do the church thing. Road man, come and do the church thing. Road man.
What's up, people, man? How are we doing? Big up to everyone for all your messages, all your love for like the award and everything. Trust me, I really appreciate that, man. Seriously, I appreciate all the love. I got all the messages. I'm just thankful, yeah, man. Thankful. The grind keeps on. The grind don't stop. OHA, one hit away. But yeah, I'm gonna play you another song actually. Some new stuff. Let me play you some new stuff. Who we got in the building today? If you're in the building, let me know you're here. Make some noise in the comments and ting. Alright, what song is this? Yeah, I haven't played this song before. (2017). This is 2017 stuff. Like you're hearing it fresh.
Goody two shoes, no shooters in my WhatsApp. Never caught whiplash trying to watch my own back. Never had a next man trying to get his own back.
In fact,
tell the next man he better
fall back.
M11, M25.
Man's whipping.
That was 21 steps just to step inside my
Kitchen. Hey.
I mean, it's
22 steps just to step inside my kitchen.
Ask me how would I know? Because we were living in a box. We were fighting all the odds. Thank God for the cross.
Never took a meek L, never had to lay down, never had to take a loss. Ric Flair struck, I'ma do what it does. Every dream has a price and a cost.
These rappers, they be feeding you the scraps, but I'ma give you truth and the facts.
Let me give you something different.
Let me give you something different. You just
Wait there a minute. Hey,
let me give you something different. Let me give you something different.
you just wait there a minute.
These rappers feeding you the
Scraps.
but they ain't telling you the
Facts. Let me give you something different. These rappers selling pipe dreams, but they ain't giving you the realest.
I'ma tell you, go see the world. Cause you ain't really lived till you seen the pyramids out there. There's a whole different world. So tell me, fam, how you living?
Some living in a pen.
Some be living in a prison.
Hey.
Cause they ain't never stepped foot out the ends, never used a passport or been
Late for a check-in.
man, that's
Jay-Z, crazy.
still dream of spending
Ivy money on my lady.
but I digress.
I digress.
I must
Confess.
never seen a man buy a house
On street cred.
show these kids how to live.
Oh, at least take them off the strip and show them how to run a biz.
Something that's legit, something that won't get them nicked.
Something they can pass on to their kids.
Every voice has a
Platform to speak, so just mind what you're saying when you speak. Oh, this is new stuff. This is too much. Easy. This is 2017. Let me give you one more. New things. Yeah, 2017 stuff. Yeah. What we got here? Let's go for my way. Who's in the building today? We got Jude. What's up, bro? Louise, Michael. Who else we got in the building? Simply Marvelous. Yo, big up to you, man. Big up to you lot. Thank you lot for your messages, man. I got every single one of them. Believe that. Let's see. Let's get something fresh.
almost, nearly, almost lost my way. Man, I almost, nearly,
Almost lost my way.
man, I almost, nearly,
2017. This is 2017. I'm giving you the sneak previews. Yeah, hear me?
almost.
Lost my way.
I pray to losing faith in the game, almost lost my way. I pray to losing faith in the game, almost lost my way.
At 16, man, I had a couple 16s.
Nightmares try to extinguish my
Dreams.
In hard times, mommy told me fall to my knees. In hard times, some people
Made the thing bang.
I remember standing in the kitchen, thinking in my heart, this is definitely written. Make use of every single thing that you've been given.
Never take for granted. It all started with a vision.
Front of the church pastor said I was forgiven.
Thank God for the blood. Now I'm Charlie Sheen winning. Abundant living. Trying to make a difference.
Violence is religion in the city where the
4-5 spin it.
even in prison life still worth living. Gemini mood, got my mood all switching.
Praying that I change.
God, I give you
Praise.
It helped me through the pain. Came to my aid. There ain't nothing like right in a verse in one day. Plus,
K got beats on the way. Man.
I was sitting, I was living in the darkest depression, but I pray 'cause losing faith ain't the game. Losing faith ain't the game.
I pray because losing faith ain't a game. Almost lost my way. I pray because losing faith ain't a game. Almost lost my way. Man, I almost, nearly, almost lost my way. Man, I almost, nearly, almost lost my way. Pen game stronger than ever. Made it through the stormy weather. I'm a killing with ambition. Word to the blood in my system. Believe in your dreams, go get them. Goals, go set them. Faith, that's a powerful weapon. Used with no discretion. No half stepping. Faith child taught me this lesson. Blessings on blessings, the gift is in session. Hold on to God, but please don't let go. And even if you let go, He will never let go. Head in my hands, sitting in my living room. Mummy on the phone, giving me the realest truth. Don't believe the lies, all lies on the prize.
Wait for the white horse rider in the
Sky.
feeling the pain. Don't
Hold it all inside. Cry if you really need to cry.
let the eye line up.
Panda your eyes.
Welcome to this thing called life. Where only the strongest survive.
Yeah.
When it's dark, you better run toward the light.
Sometimes there's
No answers to the why.
thank God I found peace inside. Cause I was sitting, living in the darkest depression. But I pray 'cause losing faith ain't a game. Losing faith ain't a game. Hey. Yo, start. 2017.
Lost my way.
Hey, this is 2017 stuff. I shouldn't even be playing you these things. 2017 up in this. Yo, I'm sweating up in here. You heard me? I'm sweating up in here. OHA, one hit away. That's 2017 stuff. Cool. All right, people. Hope you're well, man. Welcome. Let me know what you had for lunch. Type in your messages if you had lunch this evening. Let me know. Sorry, not for lunch, for dinner. Let me know what you have for dinner. Just type it down there. I want to know what you are eating. Make sure you're eating well. Cameron, what's up, bro? Good to see you here. Whew, man's hot. Do you know what? Yeah, it's funny. Yeah. Before I came on today, I've got a song called Lost Boys. I'm going to put it out in October, probably in the next couple of days, even, for my Black History Month. This is my Black. I always do kind of like a Black History Month track, and the song is called Lost Boys. And it's not. I don't know, man. I was even sad. I was sad just before I came on, even though I'm like making bad noise. I was sad before I came on because the song's called Lost Boys, and it's just about we're losing young boys to the coffin, to the streets, to the cells. You're losing young boys to drugs. We're losing young boys to madness on the roads and everything. And I wrote a song called Lost Boys, and I'm going to put it out in Black History Month because I feel as much as we celebrate Black history, I don't want us to keep repeating the same history. Do you know what I'm saying? And it seems like in this day and age we're repeating the same madness, especially on the roads, and especially young black males are repeating the same madness. But I put a slideshow together of different people who've passed away, and it was sad, man. Oh man, even when I think about it now, it hurts. Oh man, it's just sad. It hurts my heart. Like young black males, and the madness that the streets do in the way it embroils them. It hurts my heart. It's one of my deepest. I don't know how to explain it, man. I don't know how to explain it, man. It's one of my deepest pains, like young black males, and the madness that happens on the road and how they lose their lives. It's one of my deepest things. So I've done a song to it, but even playing the song and then watching the slideshow, it hurt me that I was just like, I don't even know if I want to. I do want to put it out. I will put it out, but I was just like, it was so painful. It was just painful, man. So I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. And that's why I have to do this. Like, it helps me just maneuver my way through it all, and in doing that music. But yeah, big up to you, like homemade fish Kievs. Yeah, yo, I love my Kievs. But yeah, I don't even know why I told you that. I just told you it just to let you know what my mind is like at the moment. But let's get into it then. Let's get into it. So I thought to myself, I wondered to myself, am I the only one that does what I'm about to share with you? I've been performing since 1998. Yeah, 98. I've been performing since 1998. I've been going to different venues. I've performed at all type of events, crazy type of events. I've been performing since 1998 and it's 2016. I'm not the greatest at maths, so you can do the math yourself and figure it out. But that's how long I've been doing events for, and I've been performing. So I wanted to share with you what I do when I'm going to perform at an event. When someone books me for an event, there's a long list of things that I do. A meticulous list of things that I do to ensure that when I perform at that event, I can perform to my greatest and to my highest ability. And I thought it'd be good to just share it, share some best practices. This is the things that I do. I believe that when I go on stage, I give it my all. I believe I give 100%. And I believe I'm worth my booking, in the sense that when I get booked, when you book me for an event, I believe I'm worth my booking. But the reason I do is because the effort and the work I put into before I even get to the event. So getting to the event and performing is one thing, but behind the scenes, the things I do to ensure that I deliver for your event, I thought that, you know what, let me show you. Andrew, how you doing, bro? What are you doing? How you doing? Esther, what up, what up, what up? Hope you're well. I want to share that. I want to share what are the things that I do before I get to an event. I want to share those tips with you because I thought it might help people. It might help people. It might encourage people to do the same, and just to make your performance better, to really enhance what you bring to the table when you go and perform. So what I do is I do something called venue reconnaissance. Yeah, venue reconnaissance. Like reconnaissance in the army is actually, let me actually Google it because I don't want to lie to you. Like I know what I'm talking about. Let's see, reconnaissance. Yes, reconnaissance. See, I know the word, but maybe I have never actually looked at the definition. Okay, so it says reconnaissance, military observation of a region to locate an enemy or ascertain strategic features. Preach! Google preach, preach. Military observation of a region to locate an enemy or ascertain strategic features. That's exactly what I do. If I'm ever booked for an event, I'm reading Google, that is exactly what I do. I go to observe the region and ascertain strategic features. So let me break that down. If somebody books me for an event, I have my booking form. I send them my booking form. They send me the booking form back. Now, first off, Martin, how you doing, bro? What you do in that actual booking form is so key and important because what you send them has to be key to what information you want to get back. So, for example, when I send out my booking form, I have strategically, I've got the venue. Show me what venue. I want to know the name of the venue you're doing your event. I want to know what is the capacity. I want to know what is the audience type. I want to know, is it seating? Is it standing? I want to know, are they Christian? Are they non-Christian? I want to know what your actual outcomes are. What are you trying to achieve from this event? I need to know where it is. Like that's just a standard, north, east, south, west. But I need to know specifically the locality because that will give me an idea of the catchment of audience. All right. So in your booking form is so key. When you send out that booking form, what you put in there, just tailor it to what you want to receive. Tailor it to the information you feel can help you in your performance. Once I get that booking form back and I get the venue, that is the first place I go to. I go online, go into Google, and I search for that venue. I search for specifically the gallery. I go on their website and I want to see the gallery. I want to see what does the venue actually look like. Because sometimes as a performer, as a creative, especially when you perform, in your mind, we have an idea of what the performance will look like, or we have an idea of what the actual venue looks like, but you don't actually know if you don't look at it. So I go to the venue, I look for the actual, what it looks like inside the gallery. Show me from the stage what it looks like. Show me from the audience perspective, what does it look like? I want to see everything to do with that venue because I, as a performer, I need to have as much information as possible. That's why I call it venue reconnaissance. Military observation of a region to ascertain strategic features. I need to know specifically, with this venue, what does it look like? I need to know the acoustics and everything. So that's the first thing I do. Second thing I do is I actually try to visit the venue. I don't know if anybody else does this, but this is what I do. And welcome everybody that's joining. This is your top tips to performing at a venue. Top tips to performing at a venue. All right. The first tip is when you find out where you're performing, go and Google that venue. Go onto that venue's website and go and check out the picture gallery. All right. See what your venue looks like. See what you're going to be entering. So once I do that, I try to actually visit that venue. Now that can either be if there's an event there. I would recommend doing two. Find out if there's an event there and find out what it looks like. If there's an event there, go and visit the event. Go to any show that is being held there, maybe a week before, a month before. See what it is like as an audience member, as somebody who's sitting in the audience. See what your venue is like because what it is like in a live setting is different to what obviously is on the screen in the gallery. And you need to know what is the differences between me being an audience member, being aware of the surroundings, being aware of the lighting and everything, the stage. Is the stage lifted? Is it just a level platform, etc.? What is it like? It's so key. So if you can, and this is just me, I do this. I'm not saying you have to do it, but this is what I do. I try to visit the venue before and see what it is like, all right? So you can either do that when there's an event happening or simply call up the venue and say, hey, I'm somebody who's interested in hiring your venue. You know what? Hold on 2 secs. Where's my ring? My wedding ring. I have my wedding ring. I need to get my wedding ring. 2 seconds. Hold on. I need to actually get my wedding ring because I'll get in trouble. 2 seconds. I got it. Got it. I got it. I'll get in trouble, fam. I'll get in trouble. My dad hollered at me the other day. He said, "You weren't wearing your wedding ring in the video." I got it, Dad. I got it, Dad. I'm wearing it. I got it. Han, babes, I got it. I got it. Yeah, lamb. Okay, so if you can and try and visit the venue. Try and visit the venue because it will just help you understand what you're walking into. Okay. You also need to know what the sound is like. Many of us do sound checks. Hands up, make sure you write in your comments this right now. 99% of artists that do sound checks, it's irrelevant, it doesn't matter. 99% of sound checks are irrelevant. Can I say that again? And can I preach? 99% of sound checks are irrelevant. They do not matter. Can I say that one more time, please? I'm going to say it louder. 99% of sound checks are irrelevant. And why are they irrelevant? Because there are only a handful of engineers who actually monitor the levels you sound check at. It's that sad. There's only a handful of sound engineers when you're doing the sound check who actually monitor the levels that you sound check at. So 99% of the sound checks we do are absolutely irrelevant. That's why I say try and go to the venue beforehand, an event that's happening there, and you go and check out the sound yourself. See what it actually sounds like in a packed actual room. Are the acoustics good? Does the mics that they have, the setups that they have, the speakers that they have, are they good for the actual venue? Do they work with the venue? Now, I'm not saying do this for every single one, but if you're going to in a venue that, you know, it's a big gig for you, and you want to do your best, you want to really execute well, then I would say you put in the pre-work before the actual venue. Yeah, that's what I would do. Yeah, venue reconnaissance. That's what I call it. Might write a book on it. Still, okay, so that's important. Sound is so key because if people cannot hear what you're saying, it's irrelevant. What you're doing is irrelevant and it's a waste of time. Your sound is so key. So try and control it as much as you can. All right, try and control it as much as you can. Know what is needed in that venue, and that even goes down to knowing the speaker types. That even goes down to knowing the mic types. What type of mics do they use at this venue? What type of speaker and sound system do they use at that venue? What kind of playback system are they using? Is it through the CDJs? Where is the sound going to be coming from? Do they take aux leads? All these things. I went to an amazing venue 2 weeks ago, Canvas in Bournemouth. What? Are you mad? The sound was absolutely impeccable. Yeah, I would actually rent out that place and hold an event, and everyone would have to drive to Bournemouth just because of the sound. Okay, so sound is so key. Invest in that. Secondly, this sounds stupid, but it's so important. The temperature. The temperature. These are top tips. I'm giving you top tips on top tips to help you when you're performing at a venue. The temperature in a venue matters a lot. Why? Because of the comfort of the people. The comfort of the people, of the audience. People are only engaged as much as they are comfortable. If it's too cold, they cannot concentrate on you that are doing the performance. If it's too hot, it's going to be a degree where it's like, you know what, this is way too hot. I'm going outside. I'm going to the bar. I need to get a drink. I need to get out because of the heat. I went to Retry 2's launch. When was it? I think it was last month. In, what was the name of the venue? Cameo. Cameo's good. I like that venue. Very nice venue in Shoreditch, near Old Street. Nice venue. It's just that it was too hot. It was too hot, fam. Oh my, it was too hot. Happy knows. Happy was there. Comens was there. It was hot. It was so hot, yeah. I took off my top. Well, I didn't like not. I wasn't bare chested, but I went down to the lowest I could go, and I was still dripping wet. It was so hot that I couldn't even concentrate on what was happening. So I was like, you know what, I need to go outside. The temperature of a venue matters. All right. Welcome to everyone that's joining me. These are top tips for performing at a venue. I'm just sharing my top tips for performing at a venue. Okay. So make sure you're locked in. Anybody you know that this might benefit, this might help, get them to join in. All right. So just to recap, venue reconnaissance. That's what I do. I do venue reconnaissance. I looked on Google. What does reconnaissance mean? Military observation of a region to locate or ascertain strategic features. All right. So if you're going to be performing at an event, it's a big event, it's critical to your career. Go and do your military observation of that venue. Okay. You need to know what all that venue has in totality so that you know what you're up against. Another thing is the bar. This one here, I learned from experience. Wherever the bar is located, it is directly impactful on your performance. Where is the bar? If the bar is close to the stage, you are in trouble because you are in direct competition with the first of the audience. Let me say that again. If the bar is close to the stage area, you will become in direct competition with people's first, all right? Because they're going to want drinks and they're going to want to get up and get those drinks. Now, normally, ideally, the bar is at the back, towards the back, away from the stage, so that the main performance can happen. And if you want to drink, you can go and sort that out, all right? Unfortunately, there are some venues where the bar is close to the stage. When the bar is close to the stage, you will find crowds, and where you find crowds, you find chatter. Where you find chatter, there is distraction, because the chatter then overpowers what's happening on the stage. All right, so that's why I say those things you can't actually change, but it helps if you're aware. If you're aware of it, then you can prepare yourself in advance in relation to your set list. You prepare yourself in advance in the way you approach your audience, and you can already pick that thing out and alert it to the crowd that, hey guys, you know, I'm going to be performing now. I know you lot are thirsty, but I'm just going to do a few songs. If you just bear with me, and if you want to get a drink after, fair enough. You've already addressed it, and it's made aware. So people know that, you know, I am thirsty, but I'm gonna hear what you have to say first and then get my drink. All right. So these things, they seem so small and they seem so insignificant, but I'm telling you, if you do venue reconnaissance, you will see how they actually impact and can either help or, you know, totally not help your actual performance in the end. So you need to know these things, okay? When you're performing at an event, arrive early. Arrive early. Like, obviously, sometimes for those who do sound checks, you know, the event can start at 8. They'll tell you to get there at 4. Scoot! Yeah, 4. And you've got to wait. Now, do you know what I'm saying? Do what you can, whatever you want. If you want to go to a sound check, that's fine and everything. But I still recommend being at the event when it starts. Because if you are at the event when it starts, you're able to track the audience temperature. Again, temperature. The audience temperature is important. Why? If you're there from the start, you can see how the audience interacts with acts before you. You can see how the audience interacts with the presenter, with the host. If the audience are cold, then you already know by the time you get on how you come on. If the audience are already warmed up, then you already know, okay, cool, I'm going to hit them with this, I'm going to hit them with that. Me personally, I never go to an event. If I'm booked for an event, I never go to an event with a set list. I don't have a specified set list. Right, I'm performing these 3 songs. No. My set list changes in accordance with the audience of the temperature of the audience. That's how my set list changes. So once I'm there from the beginning, I can see what tracks are going to work best for this audience. These are the tracks that are going to connect because I've seen artists before go up and I've seen how people react to them. I've seen how the audience interact with the jokes. I've seen how the audience interact with people they've never heard before. So you can already then gauge, right, these are the songs I'm going to use. But if you're not there, if you just come when your set time is, it therefore means you come in unawares. You haven't done your venue reconnaissance, all right? So venue reconnaissance isn't just before the event. Venue reconnaissance actually happens at the event as well, okay? You're observing. You're in a constant observational state where you're seeing what is going to work best and enhance what I'm about to do. What is going to work best and enhance what I'm about to do. Big up all the people that just joined. I'm doing top tips for performing at a venue, and I've already shared quite a lot. I do venue reconnaissance. Venue reconnaissance is about searching and researching your venue before you go and perform there, okay? Learning about all the elements of your venue. What is the sound like? What does it even look like? What is the temperature? What are the acoustics? What are the speakers they use? What are the mics that they use? Whereabouts is the bar and the toilet located? All right, Moses, big up to you as well, man. Where is the bar located? Where is the toilets located? All these type of things, they really, really matter if you really want to give off a good performance. All right. So you need to also know, is your audience chatting? Like, what do you do with a chatty audience? Now, you can, instead of having to figure that out, you can already see what to do with a chatty audience with someone who comes on before you. All right. I used to go to an event called Sunday Show, and Sunday Show for me was a great training ground for venue reconnaissance. I didn't perform at Sunday Show until I had been to the event about 8 times. I'd sat as an audience member 8 times in that actual show to watch it and study that show. Reason being was because Sunday Show was a show that people don't care who you are. If you are crap, they will tell you. If you are rubbish, they will let you know. If you're rubbish, they will laugh at you. I love that show because it was like, for me, it showed me reality. All right, it really laid it down for you. If you were rubbish, if you were not good at performing, they would let you know. They would laugh you off stage. They would boo you off stage. And so I thought, you know what, this is a great place to perform. Because if I'm crap, if I'm not good at what I do, this will show it. And so I sat in that show for 8 events. And I just observed everything. I did venue reconnaissance to the 10th power. I studied the audience. I studied the host. I knew the hosts. I knew their the way that they maneuver around the event. I knew where the bar was. I knew how people interact with the bar. I knew the type of people that came. What were the things that they were expecting from the people that come, etc., etc. So after I ended up performing there, my set went well. Thank God, my set went very well because I had spent 8 shows preparing. I didn't spend one night. I spent 8 shows preparing for one performance. And I believe on that night I got it right because I was aware of absolutely everything. Okay, so this is my top tips. These are my top tips for performing at a venue, yeah? These are the things that I do. I don't know if anybody else does them. I do venue reconnaissance, military observation of a region to ascertain strategic features, all right? Very key. Okay, make a note of where the audience are in relation to where the stage is. In Queen of Hoxton, Dave Paul, yes sir, thank you for your support on the radio, I appreciate that. Queen of Hoxton in Shoreditch is an interesting venue because if anyone's been there, type yes, I've been there in the comments. Queen of Hoxton. That venue, it's so weird. You have to first go downstairs. When you go downstairs and you enter in underground, the first thing that you see there are booths. So if you go to like a diner and you have to sit in a booth, they have those type of booths in a diner. Now that is, as you enter, it's right there, but the stage is all the way over there. So what happens is there's a bit of a problem because if you don't want to engage in the actual event, you can actually stay at the booth. But the problem is what happens is the chatter from the booth, because everyone stays near the booth, the chatter from the booth filters into what's happening on the stage and it just kind of clashes, all right? The second problem is that it's a good venue, it's just that for performing, it can have its ups and downs because the same platform on which the people stand, the stage is not elevated. It's only elevated maybe a step. So if I'm standing at the back, I can't actually see you that well. I can see maybe the top of your head, I can see probably your eyes, but I can't see I can't see your gesticulation, I can't see your body language, I can't really take in and digest what you're doing. So it's easy for me to just go back to the booth. So these things matter. Where is the stage in relation to the audience? Is there an elevated stage? Me, I love elevated stages because elevated stages makes people look up. And when they have to look up, it draws focus to what you're doing. All right? Because you're elevated, they're elevated. And so the attention is, there is somebody up there. I'm looking at them. But when it's at the same eye level, it's easy for distraction. These things matter. For me personally, they matter. Venue, reconnaissance. All right? So be careful of that. Is the audience going to be seated or is the audience going to be standing? This matters. Why does it matter? If an audience is seated, no audience member likes to stand up by command. Let me say that again. If the audience is seated, be aware because no audience member wants to stand up by command. This is what happens sometimes at events. Guys, everyone's seated. All right, what I want you to do right now, I want you to get up on your feet. This song here, man, you're going to dance to it. The people stand up. They stand up out of pity. That is the only reason they stand up. They stand up out of pity because you've asked them to. Do you know what? Nobody wants to stand up because why? The setup has been set up to be seated. So when it's seated, our psychological mind says we are at rest. There's not much exertion going to happen here. There's not much sweat going to happen here. This is all rest. I'm here to observe passively. And the only time I will actually get up is if I choose to. So when you say to someone, guys, get up, you will notice after 30 seconds, people will begin to sit down. People will begin to sit down. Bit by bit, you'll just see them trickle. Sit all down, sit down, sit down. Why? Because I never wanted to get up in the first place. You made me get up, and I hate you, and I resent you for getting me up. And furthermore now, I'm a bit disengaged because you made me get out of my seat. So you need to be aware, venue reconnaissance. If you're going to be performing at a venue, find out, is it going to be seated or are people going to be standing? Because then you can tailor your music to that. If it's going to be seated, then give them that laid-back music, all right? If it's going to be seated, give them something to digest because they're in a seated, restive, passive position, meaning they're willing to engage, they're willing to listen. So if you've got bars, if you've got lyrics, if you want to do an a cappella, if you want to do an acoustic, perfect, because they're seated, they're ready to digest. If they're standing, it's a whole different ballgame. Now the pressure is on you. Why? Because I'm standing. And if I realize that I am standing still and doing nothing, I'm going to switch off. I'm disengaging. Why? Because I'm just standing here and I'm aware that I'm standing here and my body's not even moving. I'm just standing here. And so you know that your prerogative at that event, you need to get that person moving. All right? The music you bring, what you bring to the table, has to be energetic. It has to make someone move. It has to make someone either, and that can be swaying, even if it's swaying, even in the song that you do, pardon me, whatever you do, it has to move their body. So your beat selection, all right? There's some producers that produce specifically along the rhythm, just above the rhythm of the heartbeat, to ensure that it really, it encourages the person to move and encourages them to engage in that kind of energetic behavior. So these things matter, that if people are standing or if they're sitting, it matters what you then deliver to them to make it effective, right? These are my top tips. These are just my top tips for performing at a venue. Like I said, you don't have to do any of this. This is just what I personally do. I do venue reconnaissance. What is reconnaissance? Military observation of a region to locate and ascertain strategic features. You're going to the venue and you're researching everything so that you can ascertain what are the strategic routes to me performing my best, to giving my all. All right? Yes, is there space and opportunity to do more? Okay, So once you've, for example, if you go from the top, if you go into their website and you see their gallery page, you're able to see what they're doing. You're able to see what the venue looks like. Ask yourself this question: is there space or is there opportunity for me to do more with the space? Most people are going to come on this stage and they're going to use it to perform. Is there space for me to do more? Meaning, can I add props to this? Can I bring on additional characters? Back in the day, me and my brother in commission, we did the song Up to You, as you know, or you may not know, but we did a song called Up to You. And we thought, instead of just doing the song, let's do a bit more with it. Let's see, is there scope to do more with the song, make it a bit more of a performance? And so we thought, let's do role play. So we did role play. And what did that take? 2 chairs. We just got 2 chairs on stage and we did the song, but we did it as if we were performing to each other, talking to each other in character form. That brought a whole different dynamic to the song. And thank God people really took to the song, I feel, because we brought that element to it. So yes, the song may have sounded good, but the actual, if you come and see us perform, you can actually also be engaged in it. We did a massive show in Jesus House, and one of the things that we did with our team, the events team that we had, we really sat down and thought, what are the songs that we're going to perform? What are they about? Is there ways that we can actually pull from them more than they are? And so remember one song we did was, what was it? Fame, F-A-M-E. And the sound was very swing. And so we actually, we wore tuxedos. I remember we wore tuxedos. We thought of a small choreography idea that we had. And that's what we brought to it. And it just made the music stand out more. So when you're doing venue reconnaissance, if you can see that you have a big stage, then you know that, you know what? We can invest in making this song a bit bigger, all right? We can invest in maybe bringing some chairs out. We can get some real actors to come on stage and do some of the acting. What can you do? And who did this well? It so happens that Christian's here right now. AFG. I remember AFG. I remember watching them make their songs much more than what it was. They brought it to life on stage. And that's where Commission took it. We took it from AFG Nexus. We saw how they could make one song mean so much more just by the visual aids, okay? And I think that is a great trial run for when you go on to do stadium tours. If you go on to do stadium tours and play out massive, if you go out and play at Wembley, Coco, you're going to have to make the song more than it is on a wider scale. I went to see Krept and Conan on their tour last year. And one of the things that they did that I thought was absolutely amazing, because it was all about the long way home, that was the name of their album, and because it was about a journey, they had a tube on stage. They had the London Underground tube on stage. It made up like a mock tube, like TFO. And each person who came to perform as a support act came out from that tube, came out from it and said, next stop, the name of the song. And that's what happened. So it was like a whole massive set that they put together, and it made it so enjoyable. So if you do venue reconnaissance, check out the venue, check out the stage, see what can you do to add to this song. What can you do to make the song bigger than it is? Cool. I've got a few stories. So I'm going to share a few stories. These are a few stories I've had, a few experiences I've had with venues, man. I've been performing since 1998, like I said. This is 2016. I'm not good at maths mentally, so you can tell me how much that is. If you know how much that is, how many years, can you just type it in the comments, yeah? Also, if you've got any questions, I'm ready to answer any questions if you have, regarding venue reconnaissance. If you want any advice, pop them in the comments, all right? So here's I'll tell you a few stories and a few experiences I've had with venues. My worst venue, the worst venue I've ever had the pleasure or unpleasure of performing at has to be, drum roll please, the worst venue I've ever performed at has to be Granabara in Holborn. Shoot me, yes. Granabara in Holborn. Oh my days. That for me in terms of venue reconnaissance, that has got to be that one there. I couldn't control anything. And I remember Granabara, this is how Granabara is set up. 18 years, Christian, thank you. Oh, wow, that's a long time. Granabara is set up in a circular fashion. So the stage, for example, you would have the stage, but everything is built around it circular. So if you want to go to the bar, nothing is enclosed, it's all open plan and it's circular. So it's almost like, when you go to an event and you have a band playing and the band just plays there in the background. Because of the setup, that's how it is. It's almost like you're performing, but you're just in the background because everything is based circular. So it means that, say, my worst venue is the stage. Oh, wow, Andrew. So it means that everybody's just walking up and down in a circular fashion to go to the bar, to go to the toilet. So even you as a performer are distracted. So I remember I got there and I had it's actually a restaurant as well. Can you imagine? Can you combine that as well? It's a restaurant. It's a restaurant. You've got restaurant, drink, and music. It's too much. It's too much. Oh my gosh, it's too much. It's just too much. It's too much distraction. There's no way to control it. And so I remember I went there and I had been there before to eat. So I knew Granabara. So when I saw that on the venue, when I saw that on the booking form, I was like, Granabara? But Granabara? But that's a restaurant. But I thought, okay, maybe there's a basement. So I got there, and he said, and my friend, I won't say it, but he was like, yeah, that's where we're going to perform. I said, what? I said, what? I said, what? I thought, oh my days. So I was doing venue reconnaissance all night observation, venue reconnaissance, and I just thought to myself, you know what? I can't even control this. And there will be some venues you can't even control. There will be some venues that you will not be able to. Your venue reconnaissance will just do nothing because it is what it is, and that's even the greatest challenge, to be able to work against a worse venue, a bad venue. So I performed, and I think I did okay. I did okay because there was just so many distractions. But I learned from that. I learned that, you know what, there are some venues I cannot control, and I just have to do my best. Thank you, Esther. Yeah, I'm going to answer that in a sec. Yeah. My best venue, though, woo! It's a shame because it's gone now. But I just passed it the other day, and they just rebranded it, so I don't understand why they did that. But my best venue to perform at has to be Plan B in Brixton. Scoot. Plan B in Brixton. I did venue reconnaissance with that event. I went to a couple shows with A. Comedian was performing, just to see how it is in different settings. His setting was seated, so I got to see, okay, from an audience point of view, seated, it had the elevated stage. He was performing, he had other comedians, but he also had musical acts, so then I got to hear that. And then I seated a bit near to the bar because I wanted to test out the bar interaction. Does the bar clash with the stage? And it didn't. Reason being, because if those who have been to Plan B know, it's not a very, very big venue. So, especially if you're doing something like comedy, music, people want to hear what's happening because it's a small venue. So you can't exactly just get up, go to the bar, make noise, ha 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 ha. No, people will tell you to be quiet. And so I loved that venue for that specific reason. The sound, crystal perfect. I loved it. Fortunately, I never ever I wanted to hold an event there, but they've changed Plan B to, what's it called now? It's some weird club. So I'm gonna maybe do something there still. So that's my best venue. Sorry, that's my worst venue and my best venue. My worst, Granabara. I'm not saying you can't perform at Granabara, go do your thing. But for me, I just did not like it. And my best has to be Plan B. Finally, I will say, in me saying all of this, it's always going to be down to the quality of your performance. That's what it's going to really actually come to. Even if it's cold, even if the crowd are chatty, even if the bar is close to the stage, even if the stage has no lift, even if it's just dark and you can't see the lighting is rubbish, what it's going to be down to is the quality of your performance, the quality of your performance. And I'll tell you this story. This is where I learned this. I'll tell you this story. There's an artist called Daly. Daly, he's from the UK, but he does a lot of amazing things in the US. The same day I met my wife, everything seems to always revolve around her. The same day I met my wife was at a bar in, where was it? Old Street. The setup was terrible because there wasn't actually a stage. It was a bar and the stage had been designated to just the floor. All right. So you had people that were at the bar, ha ha ha, making noise, la la la. The context was a fashion show. So imagine you've got a fashion show, a bar, and it's supposed to be a music event. But Daly, those who know Daly, he's just talented. He is a very talented individual, very talented. I didn't know about him. I didn't know nothing about him. I didn't know who he was. And so the presenter said, ladies and gentlemen, make some noise for Daly. Woo! And he was singing slow music, slow, soulful R&B. And I remember thinking, oh, man, they're not even listening. And I was thinking, why did he choose to do that for? Like, my venue reconnaissance says that, it's not going to work. But he stayed truthful and faithful to his craft. And he delivered a performance that was just phenomenal. And I remember he didn't sing to the crowd, he sang to himself. I'm telling you, he sang to himself. And he was just in his moment. He was in his bubble of, you know what, I've been called here to sing, and I'm just going to sing because I love singing. He didn't know I was there. But that was a turning point in the way I performed, because before I always used to perform for the crowd. They've got to love it. They've got to like it. Oh my gosh, what am I doing wrong? They've got to love it. But no. So what I would say is, despite all this venue reconnaissance and everything, it's always going to be down to the quality of your performance. And one way to ensure that quality is always kept high, perform for yourself. Perform out of that love of what you do. Because once people can see the passion and the love in what you're doing, even if it's cold, even if someone's chatting, people will tell people to shut up. People will put on their jacket because they're so focused on what you're doing and the amazing gift and talent that is in you, all right? Perform from your heart and give it your all for yourself so you can come off stage and be like, you know what? That was my best I gave on stage. I left everything on stage. I always hear, I can't remember where I heard it, but it was like, when you leave the stage and when you come off stage, leave empty. Having poured everything on that stage for yourself first, and then the people. You see what I'm saying? So, these are my top tips for performing at a venue. All right, let me answer some questions. So, Esther says, would you say the same tips apply to spoken word artists too? 100%. I would definitely say so. I used to do spoken word. I used to do poetry before I did music. Before I did rap, for example, I went to open mics across the UK, across London, doing spoken word, and I found that the same venue reconnaissance was needed for them. But specifically for your audience, I would say focus on your audience, the type of people that are going to come. What are they likely to receive? Especially in poetry, because poetry is spoken word is very, I think it's very subjective. Some people will hear something and be like, oh my gosh, that was amazing. Some people will be like, oh, they don't understand what the heck she was talking about. Some people are very particular.